Here are a few things that I recently learned about Dallas, Texas. For most of my life, like up until last week, I just assumed that Dallas and Fort Worth were one big giant city, kind of like the twin cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, and I could not have been more wrong. Dallas is a huge city with a big, beautiful, bright skyline and one building that I think was a giant TV. Oh, and Dallas is also made up of other large communities like Highland Park, which kicked me out after 3 minutes because I wasn't driving a Land Rover, and Deep Ellum, which is like a hipster's paradise except for the fight that I saw break out inside an Insomnia Cookies. Then there's Fort Worth, which stops traffic for a cattle drive. They're very different, actually. As a matter of fact, in Fort Worth, you can buy t-shirts that say, "Don't Dallas my Fort Worth." So, turns out those two cities are actually very different, but they do get together and meet in the middle in a place called Arlington, where they get their hearts broken by the Cowboys and do whatever it is they do in that weird Ripley's building. I don't know. Most major cities in the U.S. are what's called a grid system, where the roads are lined up and make blocks and all that, but not Dallas. No, their road system was designed by throwing spaghetti at a wall. Now, there are some straight roads, but conveniently, those roads are also under construction. So there's just cones and a sign saying road closed, but still cars barreling over the cones to drive on that road. It's Texas. You just do what you want. Also, never in my life have I been offered so many different types of insurance when I picked up my rental car. And of course, I declined all of them, to which the rental car guy said, "Are you sure? Because this is Dallas, and we're crazy." He also warned me that baseball-sized hail could just fall from the sky at any given moment. So apparently, not only is Dallas home to 3 major cities, it's also home to 5 of the plagues of Egypt. The food in Dallas is special. A lot of the way that Houston is with Tex-Mex, Dallas is with barbecue. On my first day there, I had the best brisket of my life. And then the second day, I had the best brisket of my life. I could have stayed there forever, and I think this would have continued. It was amazing. And I'm pretty sure that they created Dickey's Barbecue Pit just to distract the out-of-towners from going to the good spots. Very clever. I didn't fall for it. To be fair, Dallas and Fort Worth does have Tex-Mex and Mexican food, but they just took all of it and crammed it into one space and called it Joe T. Garcia's, which is like the Disneyland of Mexican food. But there was one very concerning thing about Dallas, and that is the lack of sweet tea in some establishments. And it really had me thinking, is Dallas the South? I mean, it feels like it in some areas, but it also feels pretty Western in a lot of areas. And so then I came to the conclusion that Dallas is neither, because Dallas is just Dallas. And they really want to keep it out of Fort Worth.